About British pound, Japanese yen. So looking at British pound, Japanese yen, you can see this fair value gap right here, and also a fair value gap right here. And you can see how price gravitated to the downside into this first fair value gap, and after that, we had this move up, and it wasn't sustained, and then price dropped lower, and then had a further move up, not also closing in the fair value gap, and then another move up, and the move didn't get sustained and then slammed lower, showing me signs of price wanting to draw into this fair value gap. So right here, we're on the daily time frame. So it's a bigger time frame, but I'm trying to use this to explain the draw on liquidity and how to anticipate the magnet that is drawing price to a certain location. So I'm going to take us to the 4-hour time frame, and on the 4-hour time frame, you can see clear as day that we have this fair value gap right here, and price came into this fair value gap, and after that we displaced lower. What would I like to see? 1, 2, 3. 15-minute shift to market structure. Right here you can see this was the last sell, took liquidity, and we went higher. And what did we hunt for when we went higher? We hunted for this liquidity right here, this high. Let me show you all. So this was the high, the last buy that took liquidity, filled the fair value gap on the smaller time frame, and then what did it do? It broke structure right here to the downside. And anyone who was on this trade, their stop loss is definitely going to be right here. Right here. This is going to be their entry position, because I actually got into this trade last week, because this was a shift in market structure on 5 minutes time frame, and after that we had price coming to a fair value gap and then displacement to the downside, broke structure right here. Then the market gravitated to upside to hunt for this liquidity, and after that we had this drop running below this low, and this was the low that created this high. And on the 5 minutes time frame, this is the structural low on the 5 minutes time frame. Low, high, and price came and run down below that. So moving forward for the new week, anything I'm saying in this video is for educational purposes only. Moving forward to the new week, I'll be expecting to see a hunt for liquidity. And where could that possibly be? Right here. This is liquidity. Anyone who was on a short position, their stop losses would have been moved to this position. So this is a liquidity hunt, and here is also liquidity, because anyone who was in a short position selling would have moved their stop loss to either here or here. And where's the last place I'll also look at that could also be a possible liquidity is this high, because anyone who got into short position right here, this would have been the first place they moved their stop loss before they move it here. And you can see that anyone who moved their stop loss here was taken out, and the market still went lower. So they ran that liquidity because you were too quick to move your stop loss. They took you out and dropped lower. So I'll be anticipating to see either this high, or even this high get taken this new week when the market opens. And then as long as the market wants to gravitate to the downside to this fair value gap, then I wouldn't be surprised for price to want to first run a buy side liquidity before running the sell side liquidity. So guys and girls, I appreciate you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you next session.